Hey, so in this video, we're going to talk about things I wish I knew before homeschooling. Before we begin, let's get into that intro. So I'm sure homeschooling has been very interesting, and I say that with quotes, for everyone, including myself. I was not prepared for what was coming. You know, we were told that children would be homeschooled, that schools would be closed due to COVID-19, and a lot of us may have thought that it would have been an easy thing. Things that I wish I knew is that sometimes the computer is not going to work. So you have to have a backup, because as far as I'm concerned, our school for my child gave us a computer for him. And after a while, it started to act up. And where do you go when the school is closed and you gotta call multiple places just to get a replacement? Things I wish I knew was that having a computer at home, because who knew that that would happen? So having a laptop, an extra laptop at home, just in case your child's laptop goes bad, is very essential. In terms of being prepared for the time sequences, because you're not used to getting up at such an early time to get your child prepared. Usually you get your child up, you get them to take a bath, a shower, whatever it may be, get them prepared for school, boom, boom, off to school. But now you have to do everything yourself. So I wish I really knew of the preparation that it takes. You know, me as a single father, it shows me that how tough of a job it is for women, because a lot of individuals think that it's so easy for women to get these children prepared and do all these things, and the man just off to work. So being a single father, I have a lot of respect for women when I look at the difficulties and the tasks that they have to make sure that they take care of. Things that I wish I knew also is that you have to work from home yourself. So how are you going to be able to maneuver your schedule with their schedule? A lot of us were not prepared for that. So I really wish I had the preparation, but it's just like, here you go, figure it out. By the way, don't be afraid to subscribe. Feel free to connect. Feel free to ask questions. Feel free to leave a comment. It's all good. Another thing that I wish I knew is that the child's curriculum, it's sometime going to change. It's not going to remain the same. You may get one curriculum, and the next day the teacher's computer might not be working, and they might throw something else out there. So the child gets frustrated and starts to lose patience. So I find myself that I have to be more patient with my child, with my son. When I sit down with him, he's 10 years old, and sometimes he loses patience because he'll say, well, this is not what they told us to do last time. Another thing that I wish I knew, and a lot of parents are not prepared for, is that the teachers who are giving the classes, sometimes their computer is not working. Sometimes their computer go down. Sometimes their internet is slow. These are some of the things that I've witnessed myself, and how I've been able to maneuver with that is I'll tell my child, read a book until their system comes back on, do some homework, do something for extra curriculum. I make sure that I teach him and I instilled in him that to be smart is to be prepared for the future. If you sit down and all you're concentrating is on looking at TV and looking at cartoons, I also monitor the tablet. A lot of parents are very quick to keep a child busy, giving them a tablet because they feel, well, you know, that'll keep them away from me. One of the things that I definitely look at is how the tablet affects the eyes and affects the brain. You know, and the child after a while is going to tell you that he or she may have a headache. So things that I know already can't say I wish I knew, but I do know is that you can't give the child a tablet all the time to keep them busy. So if there's something that you might be doing, I would definitely suggest monitoring it. I give my son his tablet only on the weekends, and I'll give it to him for an hour. And then I'll monitor the kind of television he's watching. So things to be prepared for is that sometimes the child might get a break in terms of the classes that he or she is taking. So things that I would say to know is to monitor what kind of programs you're putting in a child's TV. So things I wish I knew, I kind of already know that. So I'm kind of ahead of the game on that. So I'm just trying to give you some value. And another thing is that you're not sending your child to school to be fed any longer. So things I wish I knew is to be prepared on the bill in terms of you're going to be doing extra shopping. So I just found out today, which I didn't know. So things I wish I knew is that the school is giving out free lunches on Monday and Wednesday. I just found out today. So I wish I knew that, because that would have saved me so much money on my shopping bill. So that's something definitely to look into. If you haven't, call the school where your child is attending and find out if they're giving free lunches, because as you know, some of these schools, I believe a lot of them, they charge. It's just the lunches are not free. But now, due to COVID-19 and a lot of hardship that families are having, children are being able to get free lunches. And I definitely take that benefit. I was like, thank you. I was so grateful when they gave me like lunches like for 4 days. I was like, wow, this is nice. And I asked, why so much? And they said, well, you haven't been here. And I let them know I didn't know that they were giving free lunches. So they were so wonderful and so giving. So that's something that I wish I knew. And again, I definitely recommend to look into the school that your child is going and see if they're giving free lunches. Now, another thing that I wish I knew, which I wasn't prepared, is that your child is home all day. Your child needs the attention, or I would say the grasp of other children, the connection of other children, to be around other children. Excuse me. And sometimes the child being with you all the time is not a benefit as far as I'm concerned, because children need to be with other children, and it hurts when I see that, the children right now are being basically educated at home, and if it's one child, it's tough. So I wish I was a little more prepared for that. I'm constantly looking for educational things to keep them occupied, but it's a sad thing when children cannot play with other children, because children need other children. It's like adults. I remember one time, I went out one time with my aunt someplace, and she just disappeared. And when she came back, I was like, "What happened? Where you went?" And she says, "Adults, older people go find older people, and young teenagers find young teenagers." And I understand that. So children need to connect with other children. It's tough to really give an advice right now with where to go because of the way the world is right now with this COVID-19. But if your child has a sibling, let them play together, let them connect together, let them have fun together. And sometimes I said, let them be silly, let them do what silly children do, and just have fun. Now, of course, with respect, we don't want the child destroying the home. So those are some of the things, some of the lessons that I have come across. I'm also constantly online and seeing how I can educate myself to see how I could be more giving, how I could be more patient, because during this COVID-19, a lot of parents can lose patience with their children because the children become very demanding because they're used to being in a classroom. They're not used to being in a classroom at home. So if they're home all day, sometimes we as parents gotta be silly with them and do silly things and let them be silly with calmness, of course, you know, don't let them get out of control. But anyway, with that, I just wanted to give you a couple of things. I hope it gave you some value, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.